What's up to myself and all the people watching, man? The reason I said to myself is because this is the way I take note. This is my diary type of thing. Instead of writing down, takes too much. Instead of using voice to text, it doesn't type right. You know what I mean? This is my real self. I could literally, in 10 years, 20 years plus, I could go back to these videos and see the person I was. I might be like, hey, you're a little too hype, kid. You're a little too hype. But I might be because, the older you get, the wiser you are. You try to say like, you can save energy. Don't be so wise. You can put that energy into your work. And you know what I mean? If you have that much energy, it's not just because you're young, but it's because you're not putting enough energy into your work. So as me being, I guess, I don't know, man. Better yourself in whatever way you can. If you've been working out, if you've been holding your nut, you've been wanting to do that because you heard about you having more energy, you having a glow, you having a drive, you having everything, a deeper voice, that's part of the glow, right? Speaking of the glow, man, I was getting crazy attraction today, and well, it was just from one person. They were giving me, I don't know, man. You feel it, and you know what I'm talking about. At work, man, you don't have to talk about sexual things to feel sexual vibes. You know what I mean? You could be talking about like homework, and you just pick it up out of nowhere. You don't even try to. It's just you could talk about homework, and it sounds flirty, and you feel that sexual energy coming up. That might be you holding your energy. That might be your pheromones and the other person's pheromones. You're so close. You're reacting that way, and they make it obvious without them saying anything. And it's kind of like a passive aggressive person, man. Look, if someone is telling you, "How's your day going? How's your day going? Is it okay?" You see what I mean? But later they're like, "Okay, look." Not just like that, but they're saying, "Are you okay?" And then later they're like, the reason I asked if you were okay is because, but it wasn't meant like that. If it's like, it's different. It's like if me, a Hispanic, if someone says something and I don't hear it, and they're like, "Do you even speak English?" And then they're like, all I asked was if you speak English. You see what I mean? It's passive aggressive. You see what I mean? I'm getting all mad, man. Come on, man. Don't be like that. Listen. That's how people shoot their shot. They hint it without saying it. You know what I mean? You give that vibe. You give the vibe you don't like someone. You give the vibe you want someone. And that's the vibe I was getting today. Like crazy, bro. Like crazy, man. I want to tell you what I do for a living. What my job is. I don't want to blow my cover. I don't want to blow any violations. I'm not supposed to talk about procedures. I'm not supposed to talk about anything like that. So for me to say what I did in my job, for me to say what I was doing, it's violating a rule, and I don't even want to talk about it, man. But like crazy, I'm telling you, they were like, all right, man. All I'm gonna say is now I can't say it. But me watching this video back, I know what this is. I was flossing, man. All I'm gonna say is I was flossing. That's all I gotta say. And I understood it. Was understood doesn't need to be explained. Thank you, Taekwondo, man. It doesn't need explaining, is understood. But yeah. Dang, where was I? I get off track like crazy. Use your time wisely. Better yourself whatever way you want to, man. You see what I mean? Semen retention, the glow, the deeper voice, that better eyes, better skin. Okay, look, I say this every time I talk about semen retention. You don't just have more energy, but you get energy. You get time back from your day. You beat your thing 7 days a week, and it takes 10 minutes for you to do it. That's 70 minutes out your week, and not just the 70 minutes are out your day, out your week. Excuse me. You feel drowsy. Right? You have less testosterone. All that dopamine is rushed out your head. Now because you got that dopamine rush, let's say If you have 50 bucks, you could only spend that 50 bucks throughout the day. And you spend 40 bucks, now you have 10 bucks to spend. How are you going to use that 10 bucks? You don't want to use that 10 bucks. Same thing with your dopamine spent by your brain. That's how it is. You kind of like, once you spend that much dopamine, you don't want to get much dopamine unless it's easy dopamine, man. You don't want to work hard for no dopamine. You want a high paying job, but you don't want to do work. Same thing with your brain. It's just like that. See what I mean? So you feel drowsy, not just the 70 minutes that you lost. So you feel drowsy. You don't have a drive. You know, and what does drowsiness cause? You causes mental, I would say stress, because you don't know what you're doing, because you're drowsy. You're not trying hard. You're letting go. You know what I mean? So once, let's say you've been holding your seed for like a couple months, 1 month, a couple days, a couple hours, man. Good for you. Keep going, man. Everyone messes up, but we gotta keep it pushing. You mess up, keep pushing. If it's 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, 3 months, and if you could go just a week, that's the most you could do. Good for you, man. At least it's a week. A lot of people do it 4 times a day, and that's a start. You'll start getting the hang of it. Me, I tell myself I should only touch it, excuse me, man, if I'm taking a shower or if I'm using the restroom. If I'm not doing that, I say, hey, man, that's kind of gay. Don't be doing that. I tell myself that. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to do it no more. Because I brainwash yourself. So once you bettered yourself holding your seed, doing your chores, and you can't find areas to improve yourself because you did all your chores, you did everything, guess what you could do? Not just clean your home, you can clean your body. How? Having a diet. If it's difficult for you to keep a diet, start small. Cut sugars out, cut a specific type of food out. Cut like pasta. Pasta's delicious. I love pasta. I can't cut that out. I eat pizza, I eat everything. But one thing I did cut out was added sugars. I don't drink juice. I don't drink soda. I don't eat candy anymore. And that I started Tuesday morning. And this is Saturday morning. For me to go almost a full week, I feel blessed, man. I feel blessed. And I'm going to tell you, man, I drank an electrolyte last week. It was so good. But it has a lot of sugars. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Use everything you have to the limit. Everything you have. Some people have to take care of kids. Some people have, I hear kids right now. Someone's out there taking care of them, maybe. I don't know, man. Some parents don't even take care of their kids. Some out there are doing crack. Some are, you know what I mean? Some people don't have a right head on their shoulders. So they're just, you have a good head on your shoulders, man. You're right here. You could be doing drugs, but you're right here chilling on YouTube. So that's good for you, man. Really, like, you want to improve, which is why you're watching this video. I'm giving advice. I'm not an advisor, but wisdom gets passed on from person to person. I might not be a person of wisdom, but like my dad told me, you could learn from a baby. And that opened my mind to a lot of things. If you could learn from a baby, you could learn a lot from anyone, from everything. So one person might be super smart in automotive. One person might be very smart in electronics. And some person might be very smart in another area. Someone might be very good at like vocabulary, someone in math. You see what I'm saying? But a little bit of each person, you better yourself. Let's say this person has been in this field, electronics, for so long. They give you tips and tricks that you don't learn in books. That's wisdom being passed on. Your dad tells you how to tie a tie. Your dad tells you how to tie a knot, how to tie your shoes. That's wisdom. Anything you learn from anyone is wisdom. It might not have to be anything great, but wisdom is wisdom, man. Anything that expands your mind, I feel like it's wisdom. It might not be grammatically correct, but wisdom is wisdom. To me, anything I learn is wisdom. Anything that helps me improve myself is wisdom. Hey, man. If someone tells you to do something a certain way because your way hasn't been working, don't be offended. They might have more experience, and not just the experience, man. Try it out, and if it doesn't work for you, say, I tried your way, it didn't work out, I prefer my way, and boom, there you go. You don't have to say, man, I don't want to try your way, man. I've been doing my way for a while. I know how to do my way. But their way might be better than yours, and it might be easier, man. Just give it a try. Don't get offended. They might be telling you for a reason. That might be the easiest way for them, and they're trying to shoot you some game. That's really all it is. You know, if you see someone struggling, help them. But look, you can't just tell someone. If you see someone tying their shoe and they're doing it wrong, you say, hey, you're not supposed to tie your shoe like that. And they're like, I've been doing it for a while. But then they have to tie their shoe every like half an hour. Hey, man, let me show you how to tie your shoe. Nah, man, I've been doing this. This is how I learned it. This is how I know how to do it. But it keeps undoing itself. I know how to tie a shoe for it to never untie on me. Oh, really? I don't care. You show them. They're like, oh, okay, thank you, man. And the whole, like, oh, I appreciate you, man. I really see why you were telling me. That could be you. You ever been somewhere and they're like, why are they doing that to me? But then okay, let's say like, you know how when people are about to fight, they pick up their pants if they have no belt? So for me, when I see people coming my way and they start fixing their pants, I'm like, man, why are they trying to are they trying to press me? Or what are they trying to do, man? Like, come on. Like, I'm not trying to fight, but you know, you get that in your mind. You're like, I could beat this. He's nothing, man. I could really. You see, someone's acting tough. You're like, man, I'm tougher than this kid, really. So, but then you forget your belt at home, and you're picking up your pants. You're like, oh, that's what that person was doing. They probably didn't even notice me. They're just trying to pick up their pants because they had no belt. And really, anything that's offensive your way, say, oh, okay, you know what? Because one day you're gonna go through it. Same thing you got offended by. Someone's gonna get offended by you for doing the same thing. It just gets passed on. But just be a happy person, man. Look, one thing that keeps me happy, and even with negative people, if someone is known to have outbursts, no matter how much you want to slap them, how much you want to just bah, 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 smack them, hit them with 1, 2, 3, bah, bah, bah. In your mind, say, I love this person. I love you as a friend. Even if it's an older lady, say, I love you, auntie. Because you can say, I love you, auntie. It's different from I love you. I love you, auntie. It's a more, it's, you know what I mean? You tell your partner you love them. I love you, if you mean it. So you could be cold-hearted and say, I love you, not mean it at all. But look, man. If you see an older woman that's known to have outbursts, you say, I love you, auntie, I love you, auntie, I love you, auntie. They respond, you have that positivity in your mentality, and you think about everything positive they have done for you, even if they're screaming at you, even if they're doing this. Think about what they can do for you. Think about, all right, man, this is tough, and people that live in toxic households, this is what I used to live in a toxic household. I don't know what I did. I started holding my seed. I started holding my nut. And I promise, my dad started treating me with respect. I don't know what it is. It might be how my whole lifestyle changed. How I'm trying to better myself. How I'm trying to do this and that. I'm manning up. Really. It's just tough love my dad was showing me, right? And he just been treating me more with respect. So, I mean, I don't know. He used to have crazy outbursts at me. And I started holding my nut. I started getting more respect. But I started manning up. I started doing this and that. I started educating myself. I started doing this and that. So it's the little things that add up for a father. If you have a kid and you see him at home doing nothing, wasting his life away, you're going to get mad. How are you going to do it? If you don't want to beat him, how are you going to tell him to change? And you finally see him manning up, you finally see him doing that, you're going to loosen up on him, right? Or her. So, yeah, man. I gotta get to sleep because I gotta be up in like 7.5 hours. It's 9. I gotta be up at 4:30. All right, man. You guys have a blessed day. Blessed day. To myself too, man. Use your time wisely.